Today we are taking a ride with Guy Burgoyne, Design Chief at Geely's Shanghai Design Centre. He is an Australian national, born in the UK, with a Swedish work history, who now lives in Shanghai. Guy is truly a world citizen. This multinational experience allows him to approach his designs with a unique perspective and attitude, something he aimed to instill in his Shanghai team of designers.
All right, Guy, how are you doing?
Hi, sir. Good.
Yeah, haven't seen you for a while.
A little while, but been busy.
I see you've been busy. What are you drawing here?
Maybe a next generation of some
New car?
icon, maybe.
So that's an iconic vehicle. Anyway, I've been told that you've got a meeting at 1:30 in Shanghai Pudong area.
Let's go.
Let me take you. I've got an icon.
Okay.
All right, that's
Perfect. Can do some research.
Excellent.
Now, this concept is a concept car, but we spec them so that they're going to last for quite a few years. Because they often do a bit of a round, do a bit of a tour.
So you took this icon concept from concept to production car in like 18 months.
About 18 months, yeah. It's very
Amazing.
quick. And
Amazing.
yeah, also extremely, to have a concept car and a production car so close, I mean that people often get confused which is the concept and which is the production. We'll just open the rear suicide door there to give you a full view of the interior, as we do
Wow.
on show cars.
I'm a fan. And the actual car is even better to drive.
And you're going to take me somewhere in a minute? Yeah.
Taking you.
Okay, let's go.
All right, let's go. Okay, let's get in. And when we get closer, the door handles pop out. Oh, I just failed my driving test.
You just failed your driving test.
You're not supposed to start the engine until you put your seatbelt on.
Getting me nervous now. Okay, so here we are, going through Shanghai.
With me as your driver.
Nice sunny day
Kind of.
in a icon vehicle.
Yeah, and you've only got
Driving
like
through Shanghai.
15 minutes to get there.
15 minutes to get there, but we can cover a lot of topics if you like.
We can. So Guy, why don't you tell me what was it like coming to China for what, 7 years now? And you've been
That's
working...
going to take 15 minutes, but that's okay. Yeah, 7 years ago now.
7 years.
And I'd never been to China before. I rocked up with my wife and my then
2
3-year-old and my 1-year-old, and it was a eye-opening experience, to put it mildly. And I'm very glad that my family's up for the adventure, because it was quite stressful to start with.
I can imagine coming here with a wife, 2 kids.
Yeah, it's just
Not
so
speaking
different.
Chinese.
Exactly, and so different, but interesting different. You know, for a designer, that's probably. Oh, look at the lights light
Oh
up
wow,
nicely,
everything's
yeah?
just changed.
It's just like you've gone under the Yan'an Highway and you at night time. Boom.
Hey, all the what are they called? Mood lighting? Just
Ambient
gone?
lighting.
Ambient
We
lighting.
call it ambient or theatrical lighting,
It is very
depending if you have a Shakespearean beard like myself. Yeah, so we were. It's for a designer. It's just amazing. For a foreign designer coming here, I know so many now that have come here and they've realised this is so new, and designers kind of feed off new experiences. You know, probably the best thing I've done in my life before I came to China was actually taking a year off backpacking.
Yeah, I remember
And
you
seeing
mentioning it.
so many different cultures and so many different peoples, and yeah, it just really is. It's like having an energy drink for a designer. You kind of like, it really stimulates you with new inputs.
Sure.
That's what fires our brains. We get stimuli in different ways, and hopefully we don't all get exactly the same stimuli as designers, because that might end up with people coming out with the same designs. And hopefully we got new answers to those problems.
But when you first came to Geely, I mean, come on, the Geely cars weren't spectacular, and over the past 7 years they've gone from being basic transportation to desirable. When I first came, we were selling maybe 400,000 cars, and today we're selling, I think last year 1.58 million just for Geely. And
You're good with the numbers.
I have to remember, I can't even speak now.
Designers aren't so good with numbers, but we're good with shapes, luckily.
Are you enjoying it in Shanghai, living in Shanghai now?
Of course, it doesn't stop to amaze and excite. It changes so quickly. The pace and the hunger for new is relentless, and I think that actually is a very good thing for design as well. We relate to that. We're agents of change. Our job is to make something new and fresh. So if we just lived in the same world with the same influences and the same background, we'd get stale very quickly. So
Going back to the beginning, before you even decided to join Geely, and you told your friends, I'm thinking of joining Geely, what was the initial...
what? Who? What? They didn't. Most people from where I was at that time, I was in Australia at that time, had not heard of Geely. They didn't know what it was. I had to say that it was connected to Volvo to give them some reference point. But today that's really changed. I remember going to motor shows when I first started, and a supplier might say, "Oh, which company you're from?" And you'd say Geely, and they wouldn't really. It didn't mean anything to them. And now when we go to motor shows and maybe there's a supplier of some technology we want to talk to, and we say we're from Geely, they rush to get their boss, and we get treated very nicely, and they understand that we're a very serious player and very ambitious player, and we're making big strides. So.
You can imagine. All right, let's have a chat about the Icon. I mean, come on, it's gone from like that concept to production car.
Yeah, and you almost can't tell the difference.
It really is amazing.
That's great design engineering collaboration to realize something. Everyone believes in it, makes it a lot easier.
But the backstory to this was that Mr. N really wanted something that was cool for the Geely Auto brand, right?
Yeah, it was. He deliberately wanted. He saw that there's an opportunity in the marketplace for something very unique, but he saw an opportunity for something a bit alternative within that market to deliver for everyone. Yeah, we really want to give refined driving for everyone, and the word icon has, within design, we talk about two meanings of it. You know, there's the timelessness of something that's iconic, that stands the test of time. So we have these motifs that are to do with infinity symbols and hourglasses that are throughout the vehicle. But there's also the meaning of icon like we're all used to today on our mobile phones, and there's an aesthetic to that, a very constructed aesthetic that fits quite well for a small SUV, quite chunky, but approachable. You know, not too sharp and aggressive and harsh. But you know, the icons on your phone are that shape because they want people to touch them and use them. So you can see throughout the car we have a similar approach to the graphics and form language, that everything feels like it's welcoming even though it's quite tough. That's another way on which we look at the iconic part of this icon car.
So Guy, how diverse is your team? Someone told me it's like the UN over there.
Yeah, it's extremely diverse team, and it's one of the best things about any design department. If you can get it to be diverse, it means you get more points of view covered very quickly. You get to see, especially working for a Chinese brand, Geely Auto, we really treasure the point of view of a non-local person to counterbalance that of the local person. So sometimes people just don't see what's right in front of them because they've grown up with it.
And they can't see it's fresh or new or different.
Yeah, and it sometimes takes somebody from outside to sort of remind them, or even just have a discussion. We have every day's discussions, every day's arguments, every day is testing things. So it's part of the delight of working in a design department.
I can become a designer. I think I've sent you some of my designs before.
Do we have to go over this again?
You didn't rate them at the time, but I think they were good. I think they had value.
My mother taught me, if you don't have anything good to say,
don't say it.
Shut up.
Yeah. I'll try. But I'm pretty good in Photoshop, you have to admit. Okay, last question. You said you weren't going to answer any questions about your favorite cars. But what about your favorite Geely car that you've worked on in the past 7 years?
Oh, wow.
There must be one that speaks to you.
Well, they all speak to me because we put out
one that you really enjoyed to work on.
I enjoy working on all of them. Well, this one's a particularly special one, I would say, Icon. But I'd also say that the next one is always the next one.
Always the next car.
It's the one that we're currently, we finished working on this one,
Yeah.
some time ago now. Whereas the one I'm working on right now is the one where my brain and my heart is really, really involved. When I say the one, there's many at the same time. So.
Yeah.
And a few years ago, you'd take a journey through Shanghai and you'd be hard pushed to see a Geely. Now we have multiple Geelys coming past us in the other direction. Even that is a significant change.
Sure.
In the 7 years I've been here.
Sure.
Yeah, I would say that Geely's gone through various kind of almost dynasties in its growth. Making cars to start with is an achievement, and then making mass-produced cars is an achievement. And I think we've kind of been involved in the period where we've gone into making desirable product, and also getting into high quality at the same time. So I think those two are a really sweet spot to hit with your product for the consumer. They're extremely design savvy these days, and they're extremely fussy about what they choose, because there's such choice out there. You've got to be extremely competitive in every area, and design and quality, for example, are very, very important ones these days.
Here we are. We're at your meeting area now.
Bit of Chinese culture inspiration.
Yeah. What's your meeting about again?
Chinese culture inspiration.
Okay. Well, you enjoy your meeting. I'll see you later. Thank you for your time, guys.
Nice to see you. Thanks for the lift.
All right.
See you soon.
See you.
I can see my mates.
All right. Have a good one.